I don't think it's much of an understatement to say how unique Hasunosora has been within the Love Live franchise. I joke about it often, but the way it approached its content and story made it a thing where you couldn't just dive into it like you could with other groups. This isn't me trying to demean the series in any way. Those who followed the channel for a while know I actually do appreciate the Hasunosora series, especially its story. It's to the point I can almost consider it something separate from Love Live, something you could get into without even realizing it was a part of the franchise. I've considered myself an avid fan / follower of Hasunosora. I watch the episodes, little clips of live concerts here and there, but I sadly do not watch any of the With X meets along with, any other form of content that hasn't been translated, official or otherwise. I try to catch up when I can, especially when the episodes are like 2+ hours long, but I provide all this context just to elaborate on what kind of fan I am. I am not someone who only knows Hasunosora via word of mouth or seeing cards posted on Idol Story, nor am I someone who fully dedicates my life to Hasunosora, following every single avenue they go into. I consider myself in the middle, so take whatever I say in the rest of this video with that mindset. The core part of Hasunosora is dead. I didn't know how else to start this video, so I'll start there. Link Like Love Life, the app used for almost everything Hasunosora, is officially set to shut down June 30th, 2026. This comes as a big surprise considering just a while ago, they announced the 106 term that was going to happen in January 2027. And that already shocked people, as it meant Hasunosora was breaking its real-time aspect and pausing time. Oh right, Hasunosora is a real-time series where as time passes by for us, time passes by for them. 1 year passes for us, 1 year passes for them until they graduate. The app accompanies this with live concerts and streams. Okay, move on. When I say the core part of Hasunosora is dead, I'm being very specific with what I mean. There's been a lot of misinformation going around about what the actual fate of Hasunosora is, and I apologize if I get a little passive-aggressive in this video later on, but you'll see why. Firstly, yes, the app is getting discontinued. Yes, that means every single fucking Love Live game is dead now. How did D4DJ survive all of this? Let's make something clear though as to why Link Like Love Life was shut down. If you go back over a year and watch my first Hasunosora video, I interview Afi, a prominent Hasunosora translator that helped me with sources involving Hasunosora's development. In the messages we shared, a brief point was brought up in regards to how expensive the project was, renting 3D mocap studios for the performances, and if it was a one-time thing, yeah, you can afford it, but when your entire purpose for existing is to create an immersion-like state where the characters you're seeing are supposed to be there in real life, that means you get to use the mocap damn near 100% of the time. Combine that with the time constraints because of the real-time aspect, and those things add on quickly. One thing that I love is that in the official tweet of the discontinuation, they admit that's because of money that they have to shut down. It's damn near a miracle that they were able to continue for 3 years, but I think after they graduated the 103rd gang, the ones we started with, it was a good time to cut it off before they killed themselves any further. It's actually really nice to have a level of honesty between the player and the devs because oftentimes you'll get vague answers as to why the game has to be shut down and you have to play the guessing game. With the way it's worded, this was inevitable. They knew this shit was not gonna last forever, so they did the most of what they had, even when they compromised. So yes, game is dead, no more Love Live games. Second point, Hasunosora is not dead. We still have the movie that will be coming in a few months, and the anime coming in January of 2027. This essentially means that Hasunosora will become like the other Love Live groups, just having an anime and that's it. We don't have a visual teaser besides text saying, wow guys, an anime, but it is one of the few things that will continue despite the app's EOS. So that's the two main things that have happened regarding Hasunosora. Those are the facts and info set straight, so now we can get into the actual discussion part of this. With Hasunosora EOSing, it means everyone across the board is getting ready to shoot their thoughts out, including me because, everyone has opinions. The first thing I want to say is that it is really disappointing that Love Live is really not able to maintain its whole live service games as much anymore. I don't know if the developers are incompetent, or they're lazy, or they aren't given a budget, but it seems every time that they can't maintain stuff for shit. I won't give Hasunosora the biggest slap, as it was already established as a project that wasn't gonna last forever. Many Hasunosora fans knew this, but with the track record of Sif, Cephas, and Sif 2, it just unfortunately adds to the pattern of Love Live sucking dick. And going by my friend Denzi, maybe the game just sucked dick too. It's so strange that each of these games had a very interesting reason for shutting down, but all coincide to ruin Love Live's reputation, especially overseas, where the only thing people know Love Live for is the games. And I don't want to be mean here, but as someone who's gone through the Hasunosora series, seen its highs and lows and what it strives at, seeing discussion by people who clearly do not know what the fuck they're talking about is slightly infuriating. Hasunosora is Love Life, but only in name. Everything it does is very different compared to the rest of the franchise, including how it even displays its content. So when you go into the mindset of treating it like another Love Life group, you are misunderstanding Hasunosora entirely. I made this error myself, comparing Hasunosora to All-Stars, since on the surface, they both seem the same. Both have a visual novel-esque story, and both have some form of gameplay, but if you look more deeply into it, Hasunosora has a lot more aspects that coincide with its real-time concept. The live streams, the whole YouTube platform, literally getting to watch concerts with a movable camera, you can't really compare it to any other Love Live group. I'm not saying you can't express opinions on Hasunosora ending, but let's not kid ourselves, a lot of people did not fucking engage with Hasunosora, and this is coming from someone who mainly watched the episodes. If this doesn't apply to you, it doesn't apply to you. But a common saying I saw around the Love Live community was that Hasunosora wasn't Love Live, or at least was considered a part of it. In discussions revolving around Love Live, you could see someone try to bring up Hasunosora as a way to say Love Live was still around, but you get that region locked in conversation or something else. Anytime anything new comes from Love Live, people often say how this doesn't feel like Love Live anymore, either be the art style or it not having an anime or game. So it's very weird for people to suddenly act like Hasunosora is so dramatically important to Love Live just to contribute to the Love Life is dead narrative. In Japan, yeah, given its relevance there, but seeing so many outsiders say it when it's likely they haven't engaged with Hasunosora at all is unfortunate. Listen, I get it. Hasunosora is region locked in many ways, and the type of content, aka its 2+ hour episodes, are a bit hard to swallow, but they've always been available via fan translations. The songs are available on Spotify, so it's just a matter of what content you like to enjoy. Maybe Hasunosora just doesn't do anything you like, and that's okay. Just don't act like you know more than others. I'm sorry, that sounds like an asshole thing, but some of the takes people have had kind of ignore Hasunosora as its own thing and are just using it for their narrative on Love Live. Like, some people are trying to use the fact that other groups weren't in the Link Like Love Live app as a criticism against them, completely dismantling what Hasunosora was about. Stop trying to force things into something that wasn't obviously meant to be. It's statements like these that make me genuinely wonder who actually cared about Hasunosora and who only looked at it from a surface level. I get it, people want a game, scratch that, people want a live service game. The one thing I get sick of is saying we want a game and then someone brings up Tokimeki Run Runs or the fucking Yohane games, when that's clearly not what we're referring to. Please use the saying, we want a live service game, to avoid people changing the goalpost. Now, is Love Life dead? No, not really. If you look at what Love Live has been up to, they still have concerts along with the movies and anime we're getting. I get it's not everyone's cup of tea, and everyone would prefer having a live service game or anime to maintain consistent attention, but to say it's dead wouldn't be true factually. You could make an argument for how it lost its popularity and relevance, which I'd agree with, but at that point, change your topic point. I apologize for that personal rant. I was physically ill and had to go to urgent care while I was at a convention, so the only thing I could do was scroll and see some of the worst takes I've ever seen on Hasunosora and Love Live, so I need to get that out of my system. But let's get a little bit positive. Hasunosora, for as long as it's lasted, was something very community driven, especially with fan translations. Many people, such as Luna and Rimuda, contribute so heavily to helping others enjoy Hasunosora that it created its own community. A lot of people who worked on these are people I'm friends with. Matter of fact, Hasunosora is the reason I got to know them. Shouts to Denzi and Alex for quite literally being my phone line for Hasu. It's because of those 2 videos I made that I got to know a lot of people in the Hasunosora community and how important it was to them that they were able to translate the things they loved. And this has obviously made my connection to Hasu a bit more personal given what I said, which is why I reacted the way I did when it came to how people reacted. Look at something like Hoshino and Idol Story with how they've done their best to archive Hasunosora and make it something accessible for anyone to read if they so desire. And also, I fucking snatched that soundtrack. I understand how people are thinking, and there's definitely a discussion for the future of Love Life in general, and the god-awful decisions they've done, but I really do not think Hasu should be grouped in that discussion. Do that to Bluebird, and I unironically mean that as its next major group and one that's susceptible to the most feedback and direction. You guys didn't give a shit about Hasunosora anyway. I won't post some let's hope for the 50th anniversary announcement or some shit because everyone's in despair, so the most I can say is that it's unfortunate, but it ain't over. There's obviously a lot of points I most likely missed, as this is a short video with a very short time frame, but I hope you understand the end of Hasunosora and my thoughts on it. Other thoughts I have regarding the Love Live franchise can be found in my Love Live video playlist, which elaborate a bit more on my mindset regarding this series. Love Life is a series I have a lot of fondness for, and while I do critique it time and time again, knowing what to critique is just as important. And I don't have all the answers, none of this is objective, please form your own thoughts and opinions. Basically, TLDR, Love Live higher ups suck dick, and what the fuck they use my money for? Okay, bye.